When most people think about baked goods, they think about sweets. But for my mom, baking has always meant so much more.
Hi, my name is Natalie, and I like to bake. I like to bake for family. I like to bake for friends, and this is my what I do on the side.
Tell me how you started baking.
Well, actually, I was baking since I was young, and I would always bake, during the holidays. And I remember the one Christmas. I don't remember how old I was, but my mother was making cookies for Christmas on Christmas Eve. And I said, oh, I'll do it. I'll do it. But that's how it really began for me baking cookies all the time for everybody. But before that, I was baking with my grandmother, baking and cooking for the holidays. It was just the two of us, and we would do it at night. I think that's probably why I like to do it at night.
So when you used to bake with your grandmother when you were younger, how was that like?
But what's crazy is because, they always say bacon is a science, but the older people back in the time, they didn't really follow a recipe. I mean, it was just enjoyable to be beside her. But and I would be at the kitchen table rolling out her the dough for the pies. Thinking back. I mean, because when you're young, you don't really think about it, but when you think back at it, especially now she's gone, and sometimes when I'm baking, I just think about her too, because I'm like, we used to do this. You know,
Yeah.
not my mother so much because I was the baker, she wasn't. Even with you. Don't you want to help me bake?
No. Everybody always says to me, "Do you ever help your mom bake? Are you a bit did the genes pass down to you?" I said, "No." It actually really I think it skipped me.
Actually, when I was younger, my grandmother every year because they loved her nut rolls. I don't have her recipe. That's the one thing I don't have. But she would always, and I never liked nuts unless they were peanuts or cashews. But she would always say, "Oh, just taste it, taste it. You can't tell there's nuts in it." And I'm like, "Yes, I can. Yes, I can." And
Mhm.
last year I made nut rolls and I tasted it for the first time, and I'm like, "Oh wow, these are good."
Yeah. Yeah, that's nice. That you had somebody to show you. And even just like with you and Cashmere. You never know, Sayla, she's always in the kitchen. Hey, I wanna bake.
I
So
know she always wanted to bake with me.
so I just hope maybe like you can be their grandmother of inspiration for one of them.
Not too much. Keep going.
That would be nice.
Yeah, I gotta get better with that because Sayla wants to be in the kitchen with me, and I'm like, I'd rather do it by myself.
Yeah.
But that's something I have to work on.
What is one thing that baking has taught you?
Patience, patience, because you can't rush. Because if you rush something, it might not be done, or it might not turn out the way that you want it to.